Okay, let's dive right into this, because what we're looking at today is literally a life-saving secret. I mean, it holds the ultimate shortcut to radical health and massive wealth. We're unpacking a framework that entirely flips how you experience time. Seriously, millions of people walk around every single day completely crushed by stress and financial struggle, just feeling like they're constantly fighting the current of life. But what if shifting your reality is actually dead simple? No mystical nonsense, just a profound psychological pivot. We're going to break down the mechanics of what this explainer calls manifesting from the now, and trust me, it's a total game changer.
So I want you to look at the question in front of you. What problem do you have right now? In this exact second. Seriously, check in with your physical reality for just a moment. Look around the room you're in. Are you in immediate physical danger? Almost always, the answer is no. This framework argues that your daily anxiety is actually a lie, a total fiction. We create all this massive psychological agony for ourselves by living everywhere except right here. We're either dragging up regrets from the past or freaking out about a future that literally hasn't even happened yet. But in this exact isolated second, those crushing problems just don't exist.
Here's exactly how we're going to completely deconstruct your current reality. First, the root of suffering. Second, the power of now. Third, rethinking the law of attraction. And finally, 2 dimensions of life. We're going to walk through this step by step and show you exactly how to vibrate from a place of intense, absolute fullness.
All right, Section 1, the root of suffering. Let's look at how the continuous stories you're telling yourself are actually the hidden source of your daily pain.
Now, this is absolutely crucial. When we talk about the ego here, we are not talking about arrogance or walking around acting like you're better than someone else. No, it's defined as the dangerous trap of completely identifying with your own mind. It's when you are literally hijacked by the nonstop talking in your head. Imagine waking up to a running list of complaints, worries, and judgments, and then actually believing that voice is fundamentally who you are. Mistaking this heavy, fictional narrative for your actual life is the ultimate illusion, and it's the birthplace of almost all our suffering.
And this builds on a brilliant ancient truth. Think about being stuck in a terribly slow line at the airport. We've all been there, right? The physical situation itself, literally just a group of people standing in a room, is completely neutral. It isn't actively hurting you. But your mind, it's screaming, "This is so unfair, my schedule's totally ruined, this shouldn't be happening." That internal complaining, that fierce resistance to reality is what actually spikes your blood pressure and causes you pain. The situation isn't the torture chamber, your mind's interpretation of it is.
This brilliantly illustrates the massive difference between living as a mind-made self versus stepping into true, powerful awareness. When you're trapped in that mind-made self, you easily become a victim. You're constantly looping past trauma, stressing over future anxieties, and viewing everything through a lens of lack. But by stepping back and just observing those thoughts, without judging them, you enter this state of deep stillness. You become the watcher of your mind rather than the mind itself. You drop the baggage. And that subtle shift is incredibly powerful.
Okay, let's pivot to Section 2, the power of now. This is the absolute foundation for entirely shifting your experience of reality. The core argument here is mind-blowing. Problems literally cannot survive in the present moment. Think about it. If a bear suddenly charges at you in the woods, that is not a problem you sit and ruminate on, right? It's an immediate physical challenge. You act instantly. You run. A true problem is just mental baggage you carry about a situation you cannot even deal with right this second. If you're just sitting in a chair breathing, you only have this exact moment. The problems only exist in your head's concept of time.
Look, arguing with the present moment is insane because you cannot fight reality and win. It basically turns your entire life into an enemy. The only solution is positive surrender. And no, that does not mean passive defeat or being a pushover. It means saying an uncompromising yes to the present moment exactly as it is. It's accepting, okay, this is what's happening. Once you stop burning all your energy fighting the reality of right now, true clarity and the correct next step naturally rush in.
Moving on to Section 3, rethinking the law of attraction. Now we're applying this urgency directly to your goals because, frankly, traditional manifestation is fundamentally broken if you're doing it wrong.
Here is the deadly mistake millions of people make: trying to attract wealth or health from a place of deep internal lack. Your ego says, "I'm broke and unhappy right now, so I desperately need this specific thing to finally be okay." But when you manifest from a place of neediness, you are literally broadcasting desperation.
It completely repels the exact things you want because your baseline state is focused on the absence of them. To actually attract massive success, you have to operate from a state of already feeling completely full.
So how do you instantly flip that magnetic frequency? It comes down to this exact 3-step framework. First, acknowledge the abundance that is already in your life today, no matter how small. Second, flow your energy outward. Give your time or value to others without immediately calculating what you're going to get back. And third, deeply feel the emotion of your goal right now. You've got to experience that overwhelming gratitude before the goal even shows up in the physical world.
And the best part, you absolutely do not need $1 million in the bank to start feeling this abundance. You can start right now by taking these incredibly grounded steps. Pause and feel the physical energy buzzing in your own hands. Notice the sheer, quiet majesty of a massive tree outside, or just silently send some genuine goodwill to a stranger walking by. These simple actions rip your attention away from mental lack and drop you directly into physical presence. When you maintain that internal completeness, outward success just naturally locks into place.
Which brings us to our final section, 2 dimensions of life. Let's see how this builds into an unstoppable, highly practical way to navigate the real world.
The explainer points out that we live on 2 simultaneous planes. The horizontal life is the timeline we all know. It's chasing goals, making money, aging, always trying to become something. But if you only play the horizontal game, you're never satisfied. You get a massive promotion and instantly start worrying about the next one. True fulfillment and absolute power only exist in the vertical dimension, the deep, timeless presence of right now. You have to anchor yourself vertically to actually enjoy playing the horizontal game. And it all boils down to this single number, 1. You are not some fragmented, isolated, weak person fighting a lonely battle against a hostile world. No way. You are an expression of exactly one thing, universal consciousness. Just like a wave isn't separate from the ocean, but is literally a temporary expression of it, you are fundamentally woven into the fabric of reality. Just let this mind-blowing truth sink in for a second. You are the consciousness of the universe experiencing itself as a human. Man, that changes everything. From this perspective, greatness isn't about desperately buying status symbols to prove your worth to other people. Greatness is about embodying this pure, quiet consciousness while you're alive. When you really internalize this connection, the fear of lack instantly vanishes because you realize you're already part of the whole shebang.
So, as we wrap up, I'm leaving you with a massive challenge. Just for 1 second, consider who you are without your heavy story. If you strip away the past regrets, the future anxieties, and that endless loop of mental problems, what is actually left? Pure presence. Look, don't just watch this. You need the right tools to actually shift your reality. Go to manifestyourmind.com right now, get your mindset blueprints, and start changing your life tonight. The link is right below.